Most people don't break because of pain. They break because they were never taught how to hold it, how to breathe through discomfort without collapsing, how to stand still when everything inside them screams, "Run." And here's the truth, no one tells you. Emotional strength isn't about being tough. It's about being trained. Trained to pause before reacting, trained to protect peace before pleasing, trained to feel without drowning in it. So let me ask you, have you ever felt strong on the outside, but secretly unstable inside? Ever looked calm while silently unraveling? Stay with me. Because in this video, you'll discover 11 Stoic habits that turn emotional chaos into clarity. And by the end, you won't just seem strong. You'll actually feel unshakable. This isn't a video about hiding your feelings. It's a video about holding them without collapse. Because the world taught you to toughen up, but it never taught you what to do when your chest tightens, when emotions rise like waves, when silence feels like pressure instead of peace. Emotional strength isn't built by pretending. It's built by practice. And that's what the Stoics understood. They weren't emotionally numb. They were emotionally disciplined. They knew how to face discomfort, not avoid it. How to set boundaries, not build walls. How to stay grounded, even when the storm came from within. In this video, you'll learn 11 daily habits that will slowly build the kind of emotional strength no one can see, but everyone can feel. And if you stay till the end, I'll share one mindset shift that changed how I handle every difficult emotion, without running, shutting down, or losing myself. Let's begin. Meet Leo. To the world, he looked strong, disciplined, reliable, always calm under pressure. But inside, Leo was exhausted. Not from what he did, but from everything he never said. He swallowed his anger. He minimized his sadness. He smiled through the weight because he thought, if I show emotion, I'll lose control. So he stayed silent, until silence became suffocating. Until one day, he couldn't hold it anymore. He snapped at someone he loved and hated himself for it. That's when he realized, strength isn't about holding everything in. It's about learning how to let things out without breaking. That's when he found Stoicism, and for the first time, he didn't feel like a failure for feeling. He felt like a student, finally learning how to respond instead of react. Just like Leo, you don't need to man up or tough it out. You need tools, practice, and a new way to meet your emotions without being controlled by them. Habit number 1, mastering the pause before reacting. Someone says something sharp, unfair, passive-aggressive. You feel the heat rise, and your body prepares for war. Your instinct wants to snap, to defend, to make them feel what they just made you feel. But here's what happens when you react instantly. You surrender your power to the first emotion that shows up. And often, that emotion isn't wisdom, it's wound. The Stoics knew this deeply. You cannot control what others do, but you can always control how long you wait before responding. That space, it's not weakness, it's where strength is born. Here's your shift. Stop measuring strength by how fast you respond. Start measuring it by how long you can stay still, without letting your ego take the mic. Try this. When a trigger hits, do nothing, say nothing, just count. 1, 2, 3. Then breathe, then choose. Because in that pause, you are no longer a reactor. You are a responder, and that is power. Habit 2. Stop taking everything personally. They cancel plans, they forget to reply, they seem off, distant, distracted, and your mind fills in the blanks. What did I do wrong? Are they mad at me? Did I say something? But here's the truth. It's not always about you. In fact, It rarely is. Most people are battling their own chaos. Their silence doesn't mean you failed. Their distance doesn't mean you offended them. Yet every time you internalize it, you drain your peace over stories that may not even be real. The Stoics had a simple rule. Assume less, observe more, take nothing personally, unless it's said directly. Here's your shift. Stop building emotional stories out of emotional guesses. Start checking in with clarity, or letting it go entirely. Try this. Next time your mind spirals with what-ifs, pause. Say, they're allowed to feel off without it being my fault. Because true strength isn't just staying calm around others. It's staying centered when their storms have nothing to do with you. For habit number 3, letting go of the need to be understood. You explain, then re-explain, then add context, soften your tone, try again, just to make sure they get it. Because being misunderstood feels like rejection, like invisibility, like failure. But here's the quiet cost. When your peace depends on being understood, you'll never feel peaceful. Because not everyone listens, not everyone sees your heart, not everyone is ready to hear you, even if you say it perfectly. The Stoics didn't strive to be understood. They spoke with clarity, then released the rest. Why? Because truth is not proven by how many people believe it. Here's your shift. Stop chasing agreement to validate your truth. Start standing in your truth, even if no one claps. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to explain yourself again, pause and say, I said it clearly once, now I choose peace over repeating myself. Because emotional strength isn't just being right, it's knowing when to speak and when to release. Habit number 4, embracing silence instead of filling it. You feel the pause in conversation and rush to speak. You're alone with your thoughts and grab your phone. You sit in stillness and immediately fill it with noise, with motion, with distraction. But here's what you rarely ask. What if the silence isn't empty? What if it's where you meet yourself? Most people fear silence because in it, they start hearing what they've been avoiding: doubt, longing, truth. But the Stoics, they sought silence. They honored it because they knew. Distraction is easy. Presence is power. Here's your shift. Stop treating silence like something to fix. Start treating it like a teacher. Try this. Once a day, sitting quiet for 2 minutes. No music, no scrolling, just you, your breath, and the discomfort, and say, this stillness is not a void, it's a mirror. Because emotional strength isn't built in noise, it's revealed in what you do when the noise stops. Habit number 5, choosing discipline over drama. Someone triggers you. You feel the fire, the rise, the sentence forming in your head that you know will hit hard. But you pause, you breathe, you say less, or nothing at all. And part of you thinks, did I just let them win? But here's the truth. Sometimes silence isn't surrender, it's self-mastery. Drama says, react now. Discipline says, wait. Drama says, prove your point. Discipline says, preserve your peace. The Stoics didn't avoid emotion, they refined it. They didn't suppress the storm, they stepped above it. Here's your shift. Stop mistaking the loudest voice for the strongest one. Start letting your calm be the statement. Try this. Next time someone pushes you to react, don't just think, my peace is not a debate and not every fire deserves my oxygen. Because strength isn't in the explosion, it's in the restraint. Anyone can shout, but not everyone can stay still. Habit number 6, feeling without attachment. You feel sad and you think something's wrong with you. You feel anxious and assume danger is coming. You feel anger and let it guide your next move. But here's what no one taught you. Feeling something doesn't mean you are it. You are not your sadness. You are not your rage. You are not your fear. You are the space that notices them, holds them, breathes through them, without becoming them. The Stoics practiced this daily. They didn't deny emotion. They simply refused to let it decide their next step. Here's your shift. Stop fusing your identity with every wave that hits. Start observing your emotions like weather, temporary. Real, not permanent. Try this. Next time a strong emotion rises, say, "This is a visitor, not a life sentence." Then ask, "What's this feeling trying to show me?" without letting it drive me. Because emotional strength isn't about avoiding storms. It's about remembering you are the sky, not the weather. Habit number 7, not chasing closure from those who can't give it. You write the message. You wait for the apology. You hope they'll finally say what you needed to hear, but they don't. And part of you stays stuck in the last conversation, the last mistake, the silence that never got filled. Because you think, if they would just explain, then I could move on. But here's the truth. They might never explain, and you still deserve to move. The Stoics never sought peace from those who disturbed them. They reclaimed it by deciding that their clarity was enough. Here's your shift. Stop waiting for closure to come from the people who broke the window. Start finding it in the mirror. Try this. When the urge rises to send one more message, to open one more conversation, pause and say, "They may never give me peace, but I can still choose to live in it." Because closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's a decision, and sometimes it's yours alone to make. Habit number 8, protecting your energy instead of explaining it. You say no and immediately feel guilty, so you explain, over-explain. Try to make it sound polite, logical, reasonable, because somewhere deep down, you think your peace needs to be justified. But here's what that habit does. It makes your energy feel negotiable, as if it's a debate, as if your intuition needs approval to exist. The Stoics didn't explain their boundaries, they lived them. They didn't shout, "I need space." They simply created it, quietly, firmly, without apology. Here's your shift. Stop proving that your peace is worth protecting. Start protecting it as if it's oxygen, because it is. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to explain your no, pause and say, "I'm not available for that," and that's enough. Because your energy is not a debate, it's not rude, it's not selfish, it's the foundation of everything strong you're trying to build. Habit. 9, honoring emotional truth over image. You smile. You say you're good. You keep showing up, even when you're running on fumes, because being the strong one has become your role, your mask, your default setting. And the world claps for it. But here's what no one sees. Every time you choose image over truth, a piece of you disappears. You disappear behind the smile, behind the "I'm fine." Behind the performance that looks stable, but feels like a storm. The Stoics never told you to fake strength. They taught presence, honesty, self-awareness. They knew you cannot master your emotions if you keep lying about them. Here's your shift. Stop performing peace. Start honoring what's real, not loudly, not dramatically, just honestly. Try this. When someone asks how you are and you're not okay, don't dump, don't pretend. Say, "I'm moving through something, but I'm here." Because emotional strength isn't how perfect you look. It's how honest you're willing to be when no one expects it. Habit number 10, responding without needing to win. You feel misunderstood, attacked, unseen, so you sharpen your words, raise your tone, come up with the perfect comeback, not to find peace, but to win, to be right, to prove your version, to make them feel what you felt. But here's what that moment costs. The argument may end, but your peace doesn't return. Because when the goal is to win, you lose something deeper. Your stillness, your self-respect, your center. The Stoics taught, if you win the point but lose your presence, you lost. Here's your shift. Stop speaking to dominate. Start responding to clarify, or simply walk away. Try this. Next time a conversation turns tense, ask, is my goal here to understand or to control? You'd then adjust, because not every debate needs your energy. Not every accusation deserves your truth. Sometimes the strongest response is no response. Habit 11. Building self-trust through daily integrity. You want to feel strong, unshakable, rooted in yourself, no matter what life throws. But when hard moments hit, you collapse, you question, you doubt your own instincts. Why? Because when you've broken 1,000 little promises to yourself, it's hard to believe your own voice. You said you'd get up early, but you didn't. You said you'd stop replying to certain people, but you did. You said you'd rest, but kept pushing through, and each time it felt small, but deep down, you taught yourself that your word means nothing. The Stoics didn't talk much about confidence. They talked about integrity, about doing what you say, even when no one is watching, about keeping promises, not to impress the world, but to strengthen your spine. They knew self-trust isn't built in big moments, it's built in small decisions repeated daily. Here's your shift. Stop trying to feel strong before you act strong. Start acting in alignment, even in small, quiet ways. Try this. Pick one promise today, just one. Something simple, then keep it. Walk, write, drink water, say no, turn your iPhone off, then say to yourself, I showed up for me, and that's where my strength begins. Do that again tomorrow, and again the next, because emotional strength isn't a gift, it's a pattern. Built in silence, proven in action, rooted in integrity. You've made it to the end, but this isn't really an ending, it's a return to the version of you that was never broken. Just buried under too many reactions, too much noise, and too many expectations that were never truly yours. This isn't about becoming a Stoic statue, it's about becoming stable, emotionally present, without being emotionally hijacked, connected to your truth, without needing to explain it to everyone, clear in your boundaries, even when they disappoint others, because real emotional strength isn't about being cold, it's about staying warm, without losing your center. Every habit you just explored is an invitation to pause, to protect, to hold, to release, and most of all, to trust that peace is not something you wait for. It's something you practice, daily, quietly, deliberately. Now ask yourself, which of these 11 habits has quietly shaped who you are, without you realizing it, and which one are you ready to rewrite? Not all at once, but starting sharp. Today, drop it in the comments. Let it be your personal contract, not with perfection, but with alignment. Thank you for showing up, not just to watch, but to transform. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who never break. They're the ones who learn how to rebuild with more clarity every single time. And from this moment forward, so will you.